Alright guys, this is Max Headspace 9mm and we're going to talk about drum mags. Got two different kinds of drum mags here, and if you're thinking about a high capacity AK drum mag and you're wondering which kind to get, either a clamshell or a pancake, I'm going to help you decide. I'm going to give you answer every question you might have about these mags, hopefully. Alright, so this is the first one I got. This is a Pro Mag. It's mostly plastic, and it opens up and you load the bullets in the back. It's a great magazine, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to load this and time myself to see which is easier and quicker to load. Alright, so I got a timer here and I'm getting it ready. And here we go. So basically you just put the bullets in two at a time in these little chambers in the back. And there's a real generous kind of a spirally track that goes all the way around the bottom of this. And what that does is it keeps the bullets oriented correctly so that it can't get crossed up in there. Now, plastic is just fine for this. Pro Mag products work really well. I've never had an issue with any Pro Mag that I've ever owned, and this one is no exception. I've never had a steel version of this magazine, so I don't know what to compare it to. I will say that these mags are a little bit noisy when they're full of bullets, more so than a stick mag. They rattle. But really, that's about the only complaint that I have. There's nothing really wrong with them. And the only other thing that might be a concern to somebody is they don't look as authentic as the military ones that are made out of metal. You know, they still look cool, but they aren't quite as, you know, cool looking. I paid 49 bucks for this mag about 2 years ago. And I don't think it's that cheap now. I think now they're in the $70 to $80 range. But I've been really happy with it. I've used it many times. Works great. Never had a hiccup. And it's not hard to learn how to load these. They're pretty simple and straightforward. Maintenance is easy. I've never had any issues with cleaning with it. It's really self-contained and closed up. I will tell you that some people have had trouble with these things opening up while they're shooting. If you are shooting and this thing opens up on you, of course it's game over. But all your bullets would spill out on the ground. But I'll show you a little trick you can do to make sure that can't possibly happen. Okay, once you get to this point, all these spaces are filled. You clip all of these little spring clips into place. And then you can load the remaining rounds from the top. Just drop them right in. And fill it up. I guess that's it for that. And then when you're ready to go, you wind it up. Now if you have this thing unwound, be careful because the bullets can fall out of the top of the magazine because there's no tension to keep them on the spring, the feed lips here. Alright, so we got a time here of 3 minutes and 11 seconds. And so what you can do, if you want this thing to not come apart, you can run a wire through these little loops on the spring clips all the way around and twist the end shut, and this will never open until you cut that wire. Now if you want to unload it, all you do is open it up and you push this button right here, but be careful because this little thing down here that looks like the propeller in a blender, it'll cut your fingers if you touch it, so just keep your finger right on the button. And that unloads the spring tension. You dump the bullets out. And of course they go everywhere. And all right, that's that one. So 3 minutes 11 seconds is the time to beat. Let's see if this Romanian magazine is any faster. Now I hold it like this, and this temporarily removes the spring tension. All right, so we're going to time ourselves on this one, and see how it does. So these go in one at a time. Just like this, just like a regular stick mag basically. Except a stick mag doesn't have a way for you to take away the tension temporarily. But I will tell you, as you load this, towards the end it gets a little tough. Now this magazine is an actual military surplus magazine. And I looked it over really good when I got it. And it doesn't look like it's ever actually been used. The paint that is on this magazine around the feed lips and on the part of the mag that goes in the gun, it's perfectly black with no shiny spots. So it makes me think that it was probably never used. It is covered in cosmoline, which I will have to clean off. But that's easy enough. I don't know if that cosmoline is affecting the action any, if it's gummy and so that it makes this a little bit harder to load. I haven't actually figured that out yet. But we'll see when I clean it if that helps. Also, I'll probably throw a little bit of graphite inside of this, because graphite is great for magazines. If you do need any lubrication in a magazine, which you shouldn't. I think doing this is a good thumb workout. Should give you real big forearms, you know, if you do this enough. You do a lot of shooting with drum magazines anyway. I'm going to need to use both hands here because it is getting pretty tight now. The last few, anyway. Almost there. Done. That is 3 minutes and 4 seconds. So this one, 3 minutes 4.819 if you want to get really fancy. This one is loaded under spring tension, ready to load in the gun. So actually they're pretty comparable in speed as far as how long it takes to load them. This one is a little bit more of a workout, I will say. Definitely, you know, wears your hand out. I wouldn't want to have to load about 10 of these up in a row. I'd get pretty tired of that. But it's really not that hard. And normally you're not in a big hurry when you load these things. They do make a little bit of noise, but there's not much you can do about that. As far as the actual physical size, I will say that the Romanian drum magazine here is a little bit smaller. You know, it's a little bit shorter this way. It's tapered, so the front of it is actually, see that? It's smaller. This is a cylinder, and this is kind of a truncated cone. And so they kind of look like that when you put them in the gun. So you can see why I kind of like the metal one. It's a little more authentic looking. It's a little more sexy. And it's the way the thing was designed, you know, that it goes with the gun because they were designed to go together. This is actually an RPK magazine. They didn't really issue them to soldiers to shoot out of their AKs, but they do fit just perfectly, and they use the same rounds. So if you want to shoot your AK with one of these, you might as well. So this is Max Headspace saying, please subscribe and have a good one.